You're being recorded.
Yep. Okay, so volume of cylinders, this is our warm-up. This is reviewing our how to find the area and the circumference. So two important formulas. The area is found by taking radius squared times pi. And the circumference is found by, there's actually two formulas people use for the circumference. You can use 2 times the radius times pi, or some people just use diameter times pi. Now the reason why you can use either one is because if you take and you double the radius, it equals the diameter. So it's the same thing. I think as good as it gets. I can check my camera here. Don't mind that, but I think I'm gonna grab my shield. Okay, so now basically what we are going to be doing, and you guys are going to need a calculator for this. So if you don't have a calculator, you can grab one. Right there. Okay, so when we find the area, we just need to know the radius. In our first circle, our radius is what?
6.
That's correct. So we're just going to take in this formula and we're going to do 6 squared times pi. Now, when they do not tell you to use a different number for value for pi, you are simply going to use pi. So on your calculator, you're going to type in 6, and then here is the squared button right here, x squared, and then times, and then you get to push the pi button. So 6 squared times pi. Yep, and 6 times 6 is just 36. And then you're going to push equals. Now, if you have a yellow calculator, it does give it to you in terms of pi. The only thing you need to do next is push this double arrow button, and that will give it to you in the decimal that you need. So the directions say round to the 10th. So that's the first place after the decimal. So our area equals 113 point. The 9 makes the 0 go up to a 1. And that is meters squared. Area is in 2 dimensions. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so our next one is the circumference. It doesn't matter to me which formula you use, they're both the same. This is the diameter times pi is the one that I seem to remember the best, but usually I just will take the radius and double it in my head. So what is the diameter of the first circle that we're working with?
6.
Nope, that's the radius.
12.
Radius equals 6, so what's the diameter all the way across? 12, yep. Okay, so this one is just going to be 12 times pi. So 12 pi. And then, like I said, it's going to give it each, if you have a yellow calculator, it gives it like that. Push that double arrow button. And we have 37 point, the 9 makes a 6 go up to a 7. So 37.7. And then it's meters. Circumference is not squared, it just is regular. Because it's just measuring the distance around, it's not 2 dimensions. Okay. So on our second circle, they give us the diameter of 10. So what's your radius? If the diameter is 10, what's the radius? 5. So our radius equals 5. So again, follow your same formula. Area equals 5 squared times pi. Area equals, and then if I did 5 squared times pi, I get 25 pi. And then it changes to 78.5. The 5 does not go up because it, and we're dealing with inches this time. It was a 3 after the 5. Okay. The next one, our circumference is diameter times pi. And our diameter was 10 in this situation. So 10 pi is 31.4. Okay, questions on those two? So what is the radius of this circle? Go ahead, anyone.
22. That's the diameter.
Yep, the radius is just halfway across, so this one equals the radius.
11.
So it's 11 squared times pi. So if I take 11 squared pi, I get 380 point. The 3 does not make the 1 go up, so it stays right there. So it's 380.1, and we are working with feet. Is that what you guys got? Good, perfect. Okay, so then if the radius is 11, what is my diameter?
22.
That's right, diameter is all the way across, so that's 22. Okay, so this one goes 22 times pi. Remember, if a number and a symbol or a letter are right next to each other, they are being multiplied. And when I calculate that, I get 69 point, and then the 1 does not make the 1 go up, so it stays.
Hey, I got it right.
And then that is feet.
I got it right.
Awesome. Okay. So the reason that we review the area and circumference is because we're going to work with volume today. And in order to find the volume, you need to be able to find the area. And then to be able to do surface area, you need to know the circumference. Okay. So now we're moving on to volume. So volume measures how much something can hold. So our volume is our vocab. Volume is the number of cubic units needed to fill a given space. The volume of a cylinder is the area of its base times its height. So this large capital B is not just base, but it stands for area of base. And then H stands for the height. Now, with this particular shape, I want to remind you that the height is the distance between the two bases. Because when we are working with a cylinder, we have two bases, no matter which way your cylinder is positioned. So for example, this is my base, and this is a base. Or when it's on its base, the base is the top or the bottom. So sometimes we think of the base as just being the bottom, but on these shapes, there's no difference between the top and the bottom. Okay. So it's just a good thing to remember. In a cylinder, is one base different from the other? No, I mean, if we are thinking of a cylinder, this is our shape of a cylinder. We can't really see it very well. The bases are the same at the top and at the bottom. Okay.
That one's moved.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just important to know the radius obviously is halfway. The height is the distance between the bases. Same thing if we flipped it, the height is the distance between the bases and the diameter is all the way across. Those are terms you guys are familiar with. So now we're going to practice. In order to use our formula, volume equals the area of the base times the height, you need to be able to identify the height and find the area. what shape is our base in this situation?
A cylinder.
Well, our whole shape is a cylinder, but what shape is our base? A circle. So remember, we just used the area of the base is radius squared times pi. Okay, so we're gonna do this in a couple little parts.
The radius is 5 inches.
That's right. So you already know how to find the area because we just reviewed it. So we can fill in this. What's our height? 12 inches. And we're going to find the area right here, the area of our base. So that's going to be 5 squared times pi. You might as well do that really quick.
78.5.
Okay, 78.5. Okay, so now we're going to go over here and our volume is going to be 78.5 times 12. So 78.5 times 12.
We could use calculators.
You do get to use calculators. I get 942 inches. Now volume is cubic. It's 3 dimensions. So it's 3.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah. So really it's just practicing using a formula. Okay. So let's do our next cylinder. Our next cylinder has a height of what? Oh, that's where they're going to trick you.
2.
No.
3.
3. Remember the height is the distance between the bases.
Oh, you're talking about the height of it.
The height. No, the height. So our height on this shape is 3 feet. To find the area of our base, since our area is a circle, we're going to do radius squared times pi. And then our area is 2 squared times pi. So 2 squared times pi equals 12.6. So if our volume is the area of the base, which we arrived at 12.6, times our height, which is 3,
It's 37.8.
and that we are dealing with feet still, and it's cubed. How do we feel so far?
Good.
Good? 11? You may. Okay, so what I would like you guys to do is try the 2 on the back on your own. So I'm going to pause my recording, resume, to review. Our height on the first one is what?
25 centimeters.
25
I
centimeters.
don't know why I said 27.
Okay. And then to find the area of the base, remember we're doing radius squared times pi. So I'm going to need to figure out what my radius is. What's my radius of the shape? 15. So my area is going to be 15 squared times pi. And what did you guys get?
For the answer,
Mm-hmm.
I got 17672.5.
1, 7,
6, 7.
0.5.
My answer.
2.5. That was your final. That's for the area.
Oh, no.
Oh, I say that seems a little bit big. Okay, so what is our? Okay, so what's our area?
706.9.
706.9.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then to do your volume, remember that you're going to do the area of the base. That's what the big B stands for times the height. So our volume, we're going to take that 706.9 and multiply it times the 25. 17672.5. 672.5, and it's centimeters cubed. Okay, perfect. Make sure to throw a comma in there so I know that it's 17,672. Okay, our next one of this cylinder, what's our height?
21.
21 inches, perfect. And the area of the base is 8 squared times pi, because we have to take the radius squared times pi. That would be 64 pi. And so I get 201.1. So the volume, we're going to take the area times the height, 201.1 times 21. 4222 point, what did you get?
4223.1. That's what's cute.
I didn't use the rounded answer, and this is a really good something to talk about. Do you see how I just took the 201 in the long decimal and I took it times 21? And this is what I get. If we take the rounded number times 21, our answer comes out different. Do you see that? Okay. So I'll put the rounded answer in here, but then I want to talk about something with you guys. Oh, 4,223.1, and we are dealing with inches cubed. Okay, so here is the question I have for you. If you know that the volume is found by taking the area of the base times the height, could we do it all in one step?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if we know that this is our formula for the base, couldn't we just take that times 21? So I'm going to share this with you because I think it's really important. You're going to get a more accurate answer if you save and not do any of your rounding until the end of the problem. Okay? So if you type this all in one step, you're going to get a more accurate answer because you didn't decide that you were rounding the tenths or the hundredths or anything before the end. So if I were advising you to do these problems, which I am, I would encourage you to put it all in as one. So, okay, here's the area of the base, 8 squared times pi, right? Okay, so that's the area of the base right now. I could push equals and I could get that area, but I might as well just keep going. I'm going to take that number and I'm going to multiply it by 21 because that's the height, right? And then press equals, get your number. Now this is as accurate as we can get. That's kind of what I came up with my first time. So they're not a ton different, and I will probably be flexible, but this one is more accurate. And you might run into problems along the way that say, please do not round to the end of the problem or those types of things. So I just want to show you that they're not a ton different, but you know, a few tenths ended up being a full one. Okay, so that is all that I have for your notes for today.